Okay, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, there is a war coming. It may not be a war waged on another battlefield, but it's coming to us, and we need to be prepared. The problem is most people aren't prepared. And the problem with not just Americans, but humanity in general, is that we tend to be apathetic. And okay, are we live? I don't want to be talking to myself again. All right, cool. Um, See, the problem with most people is they don't plan to fail. They fail to plan and then they fail. I bet if you ask most people, hey, listen, a lot of people are concerned with mass shootings and the politicians want to enact some laws to make us all safe. What are your plans? What personal plans do you have to protect yourself and your family? Most people, if they were just honest, don't have a plan. What if you were in the supermarket or you were in the post office or you're in the bank? Do you have a plan? Are you prepared for if something goes down? Or do you really have that much trust in government? Do you really trust your politicians? I'll get to the super chats at the end. And that I want to give a shout out to somebody real quick too before I continue. But I just want you to think about it. I'll tell you what, I'll answer this in the chat room. Do you guys have a plan for if you're in the mall or in the grocery store? Do you have a plan for if somebody comes in with a gun and starts mowing people down? It is a reality. I mean, I'm sure some of these are false flags, but it doesn't matter. There's a lot of psychological operations going on, but there are madmen out there. There are evil people out there who want to do harm to a lot of people, and they'll use a gun to do it. So are you ready? If you're in aisle 3 picking out, some tomatoes and some asparagus for dinner tonight, and somebody comes in and 3 people come in, let's say, and they all have some pretty substantial weaponry and they've got plenty of rounds of ammo to last them for a couple hours. Are you prepared? What are you going to do when you're in aisle 3? Do you have a plan? Have you thought about that? Most people haven't. They really haven't. Even people who say they're prepared really aren't prepared. They forget their weapon, they leave it in the car, they left it at home, they come up with every kind of excuse. And I've done it too, guys. It's not easy to be prepared 100% all the time, but you have to be. And at the point that you're not prepared, if something goes down like that, life doesn't give out forgiveness cards. Oh, I forgive you this time, you'll get a second chance. No, life doesn't work like that. So let me just read some of these comments real quick. Are you guys prepared? Do you have don't let me know what your plan is, because the FBI is watching us. Do you have a plan? My plan is immediately grab the first Democrat or Muslim and use them as a shield. God. Torture chambers. Let's see. Do you guys have a plan? Let's just stay on topic here. Run. Run doesn't help you when somebody's about to come down your aisle and shoot you in the back. I don't know many people or anybody who can outrun a bullet, 223 or otherwise. Do you have a plan? That's my question. Because the war is coming. When they convene in Congress and they start taking away your rights, that's a war. That is a legitimate war. The threat of violence, unless you relinquish more rights, is literally a war being waged against you, against all your fellow Americans, against your neighbors, and against your family. And it doesn't matter if it's left or right. Yeah, the left may be calling for our guns to be taken from us, but they're still going to feel the wrath of government if they decide to come in on them and take their asses to jail. So let me give a quick shout out to Papa Pepper. Papa Pepper, I went to my P.O. box. A lot of people are like, you don't ever go to your P.O. box. Papa Pepper sent me these 2 cool silver coins. This one right here is a Steam coin. If you know anything about Steam It, see, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. That's cool. Papa Pepper, if you're in the room, thanks for these, man. 2 1-ounce silver coins. This one's the Steam coin. And, oh, they're both Steam coins. Check that out. And also something else and they're certified. Papa Pepper is in the house? No way. Are you in the house, Papa Pepper? Let me see. Shout out to you, man. Where are you? I haven't seen you yet, but hey, thanks for that. Also, he sent me this right here. You don't even want to touch these with your hands and rub your eyes. He sent me ghost peppers, and I guess your name's Papa Pepper because you grow peppers. I don't know if I'm going to try this. I am a spice wimp, but thanks, man. I really appreciate that. If you guys want to send me something, P.O. Box, and want a shout out or something, I'll be glad to do that. PO box is in the description under every one of my videos. And for all the call for a cleanup on aisle three, make some good pepper spray. Yeah, ghost peppers are insane. I don't know what they are on the Scoville. I think there's one thing that's higher. I think it's called the Carolina Reaper or something like that. But thanks for that, Papa Pepper. I don't know if I got the cojones to shove one of those things in my mouth or even a speck of it, man. That would just light me up for the rest of the week. So the takeaway from this video, guys, and I want to talk about Caitlin Bennett. I know I've been on Caitlin Bennett. Believe it or not, I have something positive to say about Caitlin Bennett tonight because she just released a video today that I want to play a little snippet of. Apparently, her and Dan Crenshaw had some back and forth on private message through Twitter, and I thought some of her answers were pretty good. Just think about this, guys. People do not plan to fail, they fail to plan. And in that failure to plan, they fail. So if you're not ready in aisle three at the grocery store, because we all shop, we all go to grocery stores, we all go out to public places, and there are evil people all around us intending to do us harm for whatever reason. The question is, are you going to be ready? Can you be ready for everything at all times? No, but you can do your best. And one of the best ways to level the playing field is through the use of a firearm. Like I always say, God may have made man, but Samuel Colt made them equal. It doesn't matter if you're an 85-year-old grandmother or a 100-pound woman. You are on an equal power footing if you have to come up against an assailant or multiple assailants. Even if they have guns, you have a way better chance and an infinitely greater chance of getting out of that situation alive if you have a firearm and you know how to use it. And I know I sound like a broken record, guys, but one of the reasons I do that is because I view us all, everybody in the truth movement, I view as kind of a farmer. You got this bag of seeds, ghost pepper seeds, and you're just scattering seeds of truth out. And some of them will grow and germinate, and a lot of them won't. So we're just out there scattering seeds, like Samuel Adams said. He said it's not the majority who will prevail, but the irate and tireless minority who are keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. It's like grabbing your bag of seeds and just throwing out seeds of truth. Just constantly throwing out seeds of truth. And like I said, like probably 95% of them will not germinate. They'll stay on the ground and they'll get burned up or they'll get washed away by the next rainstorm, but some of them will go into the soil. Some of that truth will go into somebody's mind and it will sink down into somebody's heart and it will make society better. Because if you have people that you're surrounded with that are just keen on setting brush fires of freedom themselves because they have that brush fire of freedom in them. See, I mean, like, I'm not trying to go out there and tell the truth because I feel obligated to. It's like, doesn't it just well up inside of you and you just want to let people know what's really going on? You want to let them know what the score is. You want to let them know what the reality is, the true reality, away from CNN, away from MSLSD, away from the political circus, away from the dog and pony show, away from the smokescreen issues. They're always trying to, like, it's almost like CNN's going like this. Oh, watch my hand, watch this. Okay, come on, over diversion, distraction, division, make it a profit, click on me, look at this, look at what I'm saying about Trump here. And it's all just a big dog and pony show under the big screen, man. And they're just trying to take you down. And one of the best ways to take a society down is to get an individual to think differently in the truth. And if you get a whole bunch of individuals thinking differently about the truth and compromising and being apathetic and being parasitic, it's like Frederick Bastiat said. He said, the state is that great fiction by which everyone seeks to live at the expense of everyone else. It's like the state teaches you to be that parasitic individual that lives off of the state. Well, you're not really living off the state. You're living off of the person that the state plundered. So the state, the government, the Bernie Sanders of the world, the George Bushes of the world, the Elizabeth Warrens of the world, they're all wanting to plunder somebody so that they can enact their policies, their laws, their regulations, their cool little plans, the Green New Deal. That's going to cost somebody something. And that's something that it's going to cost is $93 freaking trillion. We can't afford that. that will send our entire failing economy right now into a tailspin. And the reason I say failing economy is because it's contingent always on the petrodollar recycling system, on the narco dollar. It's always just teetering by a hair. What is Jerome Powell going to say? What's the federal chair going to say? What's the Federal Reserve chairman, what are they going to say today? And then when they say a word, the market reacts. Boom. Trump says a word, boom, market reacts. It just shows you how on edge everything is. Whereas with the free market, just based on the simple principle of supply and demand, you want something, I got something. I got something you want something I got. You got $1 for my candy bar, I got a candy bar for your dollar. Mutual exchange right there. No outside influence, no coercion, no threats, no regulations. It's just this guy wants the candy bar and this guy wants the dollar. He wants his candy bar more than he wants his dollar, and he wants that dollar more than he wants that candy bar. Perfect. That is the word picture. That is exactly what capitalism is. But then you got corporatism, which is not capitalism. And I didn't really mean to go off on this rabbit trail, but it kind of is all interlinked. And that's why I titled this thing, The War is Coming, Will You Be Ready? When Congress convenes from summer recess, they are going to wage war against you through the TAPS Act and through red flag laws. And that's kind of what I want to hone in on. And I know I've done this before, but anybody who is for red flag laws, you've got to check out of the cult of personality. You got to take your ticket back and revoke it, rip it up. Because when you're in the cult of personality, you are guaranteed to hate the truth because you're going to go for the personality. It's like I can't stand the concept of a representative, because you hear these state representatives, these congressmen, these senators saying that they're beholden to their constituency. You should not be beholden to your constituency. What if the majority of that constituency goes toward that which is immoral? Then you're going to be beholden to that, and then you've painted yourself into a corner and you got to keep your word. Screw that. How about I'm beholden to the truth? If it doesn't line up with the truth, and let's just start with the first 10 amendments. Let's start with the Bill of Rights. Let's start with the First Amendment. You have the right to say anything you want to, whenever you want to say it. You got freedom of religion, all that stuff. I'm not going to mess with it if you don't mess with me. How about let's start with the Second Amendment? The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It's like it's saying, I can't come to you and take away your means of self-defense. Who do I think I am to do that? And yet that is exactly the war that's being waged against us. It's being waged through Dan Crenshaw. It's being waged through Brian Babin. It's being waged through Bernie Sanders. It's being waged through AOC, through Rashida Tlaib. And yes, it is being waged through Trump. Yeah, he's waffling and all this stuff, but that tells you the kind of character of any politician. They'll always waffle. If you don't stand stationary, I'm gonna hold this up because this is sound money. If you don't stay stationary on a stationary platform, on the platform of morality, I don't care who you are, you will end up flip-flopping. That's why I hate statism. I don't care if it's statism left or statism right. It's still statism. It's this idea that you believe that somebody has a higher claim over your life and property than you, and that they reserve for themselves the moral right to rule you, and therefore, and I say moral right because there's punishment involved in that. They reserve for themselves the moral right to rule you, and they believe that you have the moral obligation to obey those rulers or be punished. Oh, you didn't do what I said? Oh, you didn't turn in your AR-15s? Oh, you didn't turn in your semi-automatic firearms? You didn't turn in your high-capacity magazines? You didn't turn in your assault rifles, whatever that is? Well, you broke my law. I'm the ruler, and I have the moral right to rule you, and you have the moral obligation to obey my rule. And if you disobey my command on this red flag law, these TAPS acts, the magazine ban, the semi-automatic rifle confiscation that they're going to call buyback program. If you disobey that, then we reserve the right to have law enforcers, men with guns, mind you. There's the irony. There's the insane irony. What they're trying to do is lay down red flag laws, which is a call for violence against the people. It's literally insane, guys. What is a red flag law? In an effort to curb gun violence, they're going to threaten you with gun violence if you don't obey their laws. That is what the red flag law is. And with the TAPS Act, that Crenshaw signed into law. And I showed you that from, 3 videos in the past. I'll link those in the description below. You got to check them out, guys. Check them out and share them, because it literally lifts the covers and lifts the veil of what a Dan Crenshaw really is. Dan Crenshaw looked like the golden boy of the Republican Party, and now he's shown his fangs. He's ripped off his mask and he showed himself for the devil he really is. And Dan Crenshaw, if you're watching this, I will be glad to have you on a live stream so we can talk about your defense of red flag laws, of the TAPS Act, from the platform of shall not be infringed. The right of the people, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, Dan. It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's not confusing. There's no mincing of words in the Second Amendment, and you don't even need the Second Amendment. All you have to know is that no human being has the right to take the defensive means of another person away. That's all you got to have. You don't have to have anything else. You don't have to give me things written down on paper that they can amend or just completely rip out of the Bill of Rights altogether. All you got to know is that I, as a human being, have no right to take your means of defense away for any reason. And the only way, if I do that, then I've committed a crime. Because what is a crime? A crime is not the breaking of a politician's laws. That's nonsense. I always go back to Prohibition. At 11:59, the night before Prohibition went into effect, you're sitting here, you got your keg of moonshine, you're talking with your friend Barney, you're talking with your wife, and everything's all good. Man, ain't this whiskey good? This Sour Mash whiskey, that's so good, man. That's great. Hey, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:59. Hey, we need to get rid of that stuff at 12 o'clock. And the politician said, if we have this in our possession, if we sell it or if we buy it at 12 o'clock, we're going to be criminals. It's like, wait a second, you're kidding me. So the very act I'm doing right now, okay, watch. Am I committing a crime? Well, no, but you're not committing a crime because it's 11:59. You ain't committing a crime if it's 11:59. Okay, it turned 12 o'clock. Oh my God, you just became a criminal because you just drank something the politician said you couldn't drink. Hey, let me have a bottle of whiskey. I can't do it. It's 12 o'clock. No, I really want that bottle of whiskey. Capitalism, I'm not trying to force you to interact with me. No, I really can't do it. All right, I'll do it just this once, 12 o'clock. Oh no, you just committed a crime. Did you really become a criminal because the politician said you're a criminal? That is ludicrous. And then they got rid of that. They got rid of Prohibition because they saw what a tragic event transpired. Crime went through the roof. Because if people want strong drink, they're going to get strong drink, and it doesn't matter what the politician says. But the law enforcers who are order followers, and they're going to obey politicians because they don't have the mental wherewithal, and they don't have the conscience. They trample over the conscience so that, I'm just obeying orders. You told me he's a criminal, and yes, he's not harming or threatening to harm anybody else, but you told him not to drink, and I see him drinking. He's got a bottle of whiskey. I'm going to throw his ass into a cage. The people who committed the crime are the people who made the laws and the law enforcers who enforce those laws. So a crime isn't committed because you broke a law. A crime is committed when you leave a real victim, like the law enforcers do, like the politicians do. The politicians are about to make a whole bunch of victims by creating these red flag laws. And guys, red flag laws are a reality in 17 states already. So any law enforcer, if you're in law enforcement and you're going to enact these red flag laws, number one, you're going against your oath of office, bud. Totally going against shall not be infringed. You're going to infringe because the politicians told you to infringe. That makes you evil. Sorry, because you're going to inflict unjust force and violence on a peaceful person who has done nothing wrong. You haven't committed a crime if you break a politician's rules, but you have committed a crime if you obey politicians against natural law, period. So the law enforcers and the politicians are the ones who are leaving the true victims and therefore are creating the real crimes. And that's reality. And you know what sucks about our reality is that people don't see that as a reality. They actually think it's okay for law enforcers to come in and get Jimmy because he's got a bottle of moonshine. Oh my God, the politician said you can't have moonshine. This is a dry county. What are you thinking of, Billy Bob? What are you thinking of? You just committed a crime because you disobeyed the politicians. Now you're running from the law enforcers. Don't resist arrest. Wait a second. I'm trying to run. I'm trying to flee and save my life from the true aggressors, from the true criminals, and you're calling me a criminal? It's guys, it's upside down world. It's black as white, white as black. It's this whole rearranging of terminology. It's trying to cram into the term crime something that's not there. No victim, no crime. If you haven't left a victim, if you haven't harmed or threatened to harm somebody else, or if you haven't stolen their stuff, you have not committed a crime. But the people who are committing the crime are the ones who are being hailed as the heroes. Oh, you're my hero. You're the hero of the day. Oh, it's so good that you threw Jimmy in jail because, gosh, that moonshine, that ain't a good thing because the politicians said it ain't a good thing. Drug war. See, prohibition, it was not a war against alcohol. It was a war against people. Same thing with the drug war. It's not a war on drugs. It's a war on people, but they use all these euphemisms, and we've talked about this before. Gun control is not gun control. It's people control. The war on drugs is not a war on drugs. It's a war on people. They're not grabbing bags of weed and throwing them into cages. They're grabbing people who have weed and throwing them into cages. Imagine that. Calling somebody a criminal who has plant matter in their car. Oh, you have plant matter in your car. Yeah, so what? You broke a law. What law? It's not against the law of nature. I'm not hurting anybody. Yeah, our politicians said you can't have that. Who are the? They'll say you came from another planet. Who are the politicians? Are they gods or something? Who are these people? You have a plant in your car, sir. You need to step out of the vehicle right now. We're going to bring the canines. We're going to search you against your Fourth Amendment right. So if you're a law enforcement officer and you're watching this video, if you're enforcing any drug laws, if you ever enforce a red flag laws or this stupid Dan Crenshaw, Brian Babin TAPS Act, what is it? Threat Assessment, Protection, and Safety Act. It's the bills that they name these things are so ironic and insidious. The very things they name them are the exact opposite is what happens. They're not looking out for your safety. They're not keeping anybody safe. They're increasing the coffers of the military. I mean, not the military industrial complex, but the state and federal governments. And they're transferring power from you to them. They're taking away your power and they'll take away your property. It's called civil asset forfeiture. You forfeit your assets because you have certain assets that our politicians said you couldn't have. It's messed up, guys. It is messed up. So a war is coming and it's here. And we have to treat it as a war. And if we treat it anything less than a war, then we lose because we won't be prepared for it. And I want you guys to be prepared. I want to be prepared. And we all got to stick together because none of us is greater than all of us. If we just stand alone, they will come in and sweep us easy. But if you have a SWAT team of, let's say, 30 guys and 300 people show up at your house and surround the SWAT team, what are they going to do? And what if you had 3,000? What if you had such an on-fire community that really cared about truth, that really cared about protecting individual rights and freedoms, and you had that app on your phone, it's like, oh God, I am super in trouble now. And then alert goes off on everybody's phones. It's like, hey, Billy and Susie 2 miles away are in trouble. That they're getting swatted right now. They're taking their weapons because they found themselves on the red flag list. And then everybody gets together in the public squares and they just jam traffic, surround the cops in a peaceful way, YouTube. I'm talking about peaceful. And I'm not talking about peaceful demonstration. I'm talking about a peaceful show of, I'm not going to say the F word, but okay, I'll say another F word, freedom, a peaceful show of freedom. It's like, okay, show us how he violated the Second Amendment because you're violating the Second Amendment. Show us how he violated the Fourth Amendment because he's not in violation of the Fourth Amendment. You guys are making him feel insecure in his persons, houses, papers, and effects right now. What crime has he committed? Where's the crime? Prove that crime applies to him. What if we all really got together? That's why I got this channel, because I want to light brush fires of freedom. And yeah, I know that most of what I say is going to fall on deaf ears. I know that there's going to be suppression, not just on my channel, but any channel that speaks the truth. Just the bottom line truth, man. That's it. How can you even go wrong with shall not be infringed? How could you possibly go wrong, Dan Crenshaw? That's your safety net right there. Forget about your constituency. What about your integrity? So people are all worried about my constituency. I gotta please my constituency. Don't be a people pleaser. Be a freedom pleaser. Because if you're a freedom pleaser, you're gonna please people automatically. But it's not because you want to please people or you want to bend to their will. You want to bend to the will of truth. So forget about this constituency. Let's focus on integrity, wholeness, doing to others what you want done to you. not doing to others what you wouldn't want done to you. Dan Crenshaw, do you really want somebody coming to your house because you're on a red flag law list and endangering your wife and your kids coming to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning with a search warrant to take all your weapons away because your neighbor said you're unfit? And that's what's going to happen. That's what is happening, and that's what we're going to look at. So I'm going to give props to Caitlin Bennett, something I don't do, but when somebody speaks the truth, you got to truth above all things is what you have to hail. Truth above all things is what you have to put up there. And people are always talking to me about, hey man, you're getting so fired up, man. What are you triggered? I am kind of triggered. And there's a good trigger and a bad trigger. If you're triggered in a snowflakey way where just every little thing just sets you off for nothing, but if you have righteous indignation about, hey, I don't want my neighbor being busted in on by a bunch of law enforcers who are obeying the laws of politicians, putting his family in danger, that's something to be triggered about, guys. I don't want you guys to be the subject of some kind of illegal search. And by illegal, I mean not according to the basic freaking Bill of Rights. You know what I think we should do? I think we should trash every law in this country. You're like, what? Trash every law? And just stick with the basic 10. Just all we got is the Bill of Rights, and that's all we need. We'll deal with everything from there. But that's all we need. I'm talking about even stripping the stuff from the Constitution where it says Congress shall have the right to lay and collect taxes. They don't have that right. I don't care how fancy or eloquent Benjamin Franklin was or Samuel Adams. Yeah, I talked to you about all their quotes. It's just because their quotes are true, not because I hailed these guys as some kind of great men. They were in some regards, they were tyrants in their own right. They were the ones who put in there Congress, this body of politicians shall have the right to lay and collect taxes. You want the translation on that? This body of people that you don't even know who are going to squander everything that they ever have in their hands. As a matter of fact, if you put them in control of the desert, it's not going to be long before they run out of sand. That body right there has the power to lay and collect taxes. That body right there has the right to plunder you against your will and without your consent. Do you really buy that? That right there is consenting to this idea that, there are people in this world that we can call rulers. There are authorities. They're the officials, and you hear it all the time on the news. They're constantly pounding. The authorities said, the officials said, hospital administrator said, law enforcement says, and it's like, who are they? They could be lying. They're just people. It's all this dog and pony sleight of hand stuff to get you to think that there are certain people who legitimately have the right to rule you when they don't. All right, so here's my shout out to Caitlin Bennett. I'm gonna play. I urge you to go to her video. It's her video called Dan Crenshaw Message Me. I'm gonna turn this light off right here so you can see it. The name of this video, pay attention, guys. This is actually what she says here is spot on. And this is what I've been trying to say to all my statist friends is when you're a statist, you're wrapped up in cognitive dissonance. In other words, you're trying to hold two ideas that are mutually exclusive and you're trying to keep them and hold them at the same time. And so there's this short circuit, there's this dissonance, and it's cognitive. So it's this cognitive dissonance where, okay, I want to hold on to freedom, but it's okay to vote, and I'm upholding Republicans, the Republican Party, people like Dan Crenshaw. And then there's the point at which that breaks down is, well, what if so you're for Republicans and republicanism and conservatism, and the reason I'm picking on that is because everybody knows that leftism is out to lunch right off the bat. It's like when I tried to give my dog worming medicine. It's the raw pill that he hates it. It's like liberalism and leftism is like that pill. But if you wrap it in bologna or cheese or a good hunk of peanut butter, my dog's like, hey, what? Hey, is that, by the way, I'm just asking, is that for me? And he just sucks it down. He doesn't know that the worming medicine is inside of it. So that to me is conservatism. Liberalism is just that raw, bitter, smelly ass, nasty pill. And everybody knows it sucks. And everybody knows you don't want to put that thing up to your lips because as soon as you do, you're going to pucker and go, ugh. But to me, conservatism is wrapping that pill with something that looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more palatable. So when I say conservatism and don't say leftism, I'm already assuming leftism is out to lunch because everybody has, all you need is two brain cells to rub together to realize that leftism is truly, obviously non-covertly insane. So when you have these two ideas, you got, I want to hold on to freedom, but I'm for Trump and I'm for conservatism. Wait, what do you mean he's for civil asset forfeiture? That contradicts the principles of liberty in the Fourth Amendment. Wait a minute. What do you mean Trump's for red flag laws? What do you mean Dan Crenshaw's for red flag laws, these extreme risk protection orders? What do you mean he's for the TAPS Act, this pre-crime idea where you don't have to have committed a crime, but you go to jail anyway, you get your property stolen from you anyway? And then there's the cognitive dissonance. And when you're a statist, that's what you have to deal with. And it's like nature, truth is telling you, no, you can't hold both of these ideas and be okay with yourself. To hold both of these ideas, you have to push something down in your heart. You got to shove something down in your conscience to hold those. That's the only way you can do it. That's the only way you can sleep at night is you got to turn something off in your conscience so you can accept those pills, both of them at the same time. And honestly, you're not holding on to both of them. But cognitive dissonance makes you think you are. It makes you think you can do it, but you really can't. You're only holding this one right here. You're holding, and it's all part and parcel of the cult of personality. You're in the cult of personality and you're trying to hold this concept of freedom and justice and the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and the Fourth Amendment. And you're trying to hold on to them, but you're not. You think you are, and it's all illusory. That's why I call voting the illusion of choice. You think you have a choice, but you don't. Stalin said it well. He said, it doesn't matter who the people vote for. Every vote is a vote for us. They don't even know it. We've stacked the deck. Every card belongs to us. No matter what card they pull out of the deck, all 52 of them belong to us. Oh, did you pull an ace? Ace of hearts? They think it's not mine. Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. That went against me, Stalin says. Oh, dang. Shoot, Ace of Hearts, not even us. Oh, shoot. And the whole time it is them. You think that, we got us a Republican in there. We going places now. We got to do something for freedom. That's what they thought about Justice John Roberts. Oh gosh, I hope he's confirmed by Bush. I hope John Roberts gets in there as one of the Supreme Court justices. Then we're never going to get Obamacare. Why do we have Obamacare today? Because of the final decision from Republican conservative Chief Justice John Roberts. So, you think the Republican Party did you good. And you Democrats think the Democratic Party did you good, but the bankers are behind the scenes going, oh my God, I can't believe they're still playing our game. Fire up the Snuggies. Pour me a whole thing of cognac. Yes, sir, boy. It's going to be a good Christmas this year, man. They are still falling for the same old Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, solution. They fall for it every time. We don't even have to change the formula. They're that stupid. They really think the Republican Party is going to keep them out of transgenerational debt slavery. Oh, what's this? Trump's already working on his first $1 trillion extra on the national debt. They think that the Republicans are going to keep them out of beefing up the military-industrial complex. Oh, wait, what's this? Trump increased the military-industrial complex budget by 5%. Oh, what's this? In 2019, the federal budget increased NASA 3.5%. Now we're giving about $58.9 million every day, not every year, every day. $58.9 million a day goes to NASA, guys. $10.2 million a day goes to Israel. And what does Israel do to us? Oh, just little things like blow up the USS Liberty on purpose. Oh, it was an accident. No, it wasn't an accident. You know how many people died that day? 34. You know how many people got seriously injured? 172. And that's our own US guys, bombed by our allies, our great ally. Hey, heads off to the greatest ally. Israel's our greatest ally. This is great. Oh, what about the USS Liberty? USS Liberty, I never heard of it. Look up the USS Liberty, guys. Bombed in broad daylight. Boom, just kept coming at him. 34 died. People just burning on the deck of the USS Liberty. Thanks, Israel. Thanks. I appreciate that. Good thing you're our friends, because gosh, how would they treat us if they were our enemies? Let's just talk about truth. Don't be beholden to a country. Don't be beholden to the Palestinians. Don't be beholden to the Israelis or the Israelites, whatever you want to call them. Don't be so on board with being against somebody like Alexandria Ocasio-Chavez Cortez that when she says something, when truth comes out of her mouth, you reject the truth just because it was her who said it. When said she was against the Department of Homeland Security, every freedom-loving American should be against the Department of Homeland Security. First of all, right off the bat, $47.5 billion every freaking year. $9 billion of that goes to the TSA, which, what do they subject us to? The radiation and molestation practices every time you go through some airport. So they're completely trampling the Fourth Amendment rights, your Fourth Amendment rights. How much did it cost me to lose my rights? Oh, you mean it's wait. Back up. It's costing me to give away my rights? Yeah, $9 billion every year for the TSA. And then the red team tests come in, the federal red team tests, their own examiners come through with loaded guns and bombs. And 95% of the time it makes it through the TSA onto departing flights. All TSA is very, very expensive security theater, guys. So when AOC says we should get rid of the Department of Homeland Security, we should all go, whoa, AOC actually just said something like logical and smart there. No, instead, we're all caught up in cognitive dissonance. We're all just singing Kumbaya and the cult of personality. Hey, cult leader, you're the best thing. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is the devil. She's the devil, and she can't say anything that's true. We're all so caught up in the cult of personality, and the cobwebs of cognitive dissonance have so clouded our minds that when we see the truth right in front of our face, we can't even acknowledge it because of the mask, that the mouth mask that it's coming out of. Is Ocasio-Cortez an evil socialist? Yep, she sure is. And she wants to take away more of your rights through the redistribution of wealth through the $93 trillion Green New Deal. 93 trillion, that's all it is? Oh, geez. Where do I sign? It's just, hey, Henry, it's just $93 trillion. Oh, yeah. And then we'll get no doubt that if we leave the climate in the hands of the government will improve because everything always improves with government, right? I mean, like, look at our healthcare system. Oh, wait, that's pretty much trashed. Well, we'll look at our roads. Oh, okay. All right, the roads suck. All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you healthcare and the roads, but gosh, there's got to be something that the government has done that's really been worthwhile and beneficial to humanity. Public schools, there you go. Public schools were good. Oh yeah, they pretty much wrecked public schools. It's not even, you can't really constitute. It's not a school. It's like an indoctrination program. Yeah, you're right. Well, at least we can entrust them with the money they plunder from us. Wait, they plunder money yeah, they steal our money. You mean you don't consent to them taking your money? No, they steal our money. Well, what do they do with it? Well, they waste it on things like, well, wars and wars. What are you talking about? Well, yeah, and then there's the national debt. How much national debt? No, it's just $22 trillion. So you can't even trust them with your money. You can't trust them with public schools. You can't trust them with the roads. Look at Flint water. You can't trust them with your water resources. But hey, I think it's a really good idea for us to just put the red flag law thing in the hands of the government. What could possibly go wrong? We just trust the government so much. Nothing could go wrong with the red flag laws. Matter of fact, we should give them more power, not just the red flag laws. Let's inject some methanostenalone into that. Let's just really pump them up on steroids, man. The red flag laws aren't enough, man. We need the TAPS Act. Get Dan Crenshaw. Somebody call Dan Crenshaw. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, we need something called a Threat Assessment Protection and Safety Act. You think you could work on that? And then this is the red flag law on steroids. This is where you might as well call Ted Cruz. I mean, not Ted Cruz, but Tom Cruise. Might as well call Tom Cruise from the Minority Report instead of Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw is the Tom Cruise of Congress because he's trying to slide through a Minority Report style pre-crime bill that makes you a criminal before you even commit a crime, because they have some idea that you might commit a crime sometime in the future. So they're just going to visit you and take your guns and then subject you to psychological evaluations, because we know how mentally sound people in government are, right? All right, guys, I'm ranting. I don't apologize for it. If I say anything that's not according to truth, let me know. Let me know. If you want me to stop, give me a thumbs down and we'll just end this right now. But I'm telling you guys, a war is not coming. It's here. And it's been here for a long, long time. And we're so wrapped up and caught up in this dog and pony show, smoke screen, sleight of hand, listen to the politician magician, that we can't see straight. To such an extent, we've become such an entitled society, guys. We're so dependent on state and local and federal government for all of our needs being met that we won't even, when we know we should, prepare ourselves by buying a gun, learning how to use it so that wherever we go, we can offer maximum protection for ourselves and our families. We're that brain dead. That's how far gone we are. Thanks for that thumbs down. Yeah, okay, buddy. Got a thumbs down. Okay, so here's my rare shout out to Caitlin Bennett for saying what needed to be said with Dan Crenshaw. Now, I'm fast forwarding 16 minutes into this video, guys. I'm gonna leave this link in the description below. If you go to Caitlin's channel, I want you to tell her that High Impact Vlogs wants to do a live stream with her because I want to get into Caitlin Bennett's head for the sake of freedom. I want to light a brush fire of freedom inside the mind of Caitlin Bennett. She just like you guys are my brothers and sisters, she is my sister. And I want to bring her along. And if I am at any point wrong or I miss the mark on the standard, the reason I bring this up is because we are beholden to a fiat currency Ponzi scheme system. If the fiat currency is basically, you could call it dishonest money. Gold and silver for 5,000 or 6,000 years, I don't know, has been sound money. So when I hold this up, I'm basically holding up the standard of truth. The standard of truth, sound money. So the standard of truth. So if I fall short of the standard of truth, if I fall short of championing the cause of individual liberties, I want to be called out on it because my agenda is truth. I want to do to others what I would want others to do to me, and I don't want to do to others what I wouldn't want done to me. It's very simple. So I do want to get into her mind. So if you go to this link, matter of fact, if somebody, I don't know if I need to hand out some wrenches, man. Hey, babe, can you get on your computer and use your wrench to put Caitlin Bennett's link in the description or in the chat room? That's going to take about 5 minutes, guys. So I'm going to put Caitlin Bennett's link in here. We're going to go over the last 4 minutes, what she was talking about. Very important, guys. Very important. Maybe not the whole 4 minutes, but at least the first 2 minutes are. So let me, I'm going to play a couple seconds of this, and you guys let me know if you can hear it. Okay. And the reason I want you to say, hey, Caitlin, do a live stream with High Impact Vlogs. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about freedom, is because I want to build a coalition of YouTubers, of people who are on Twitter, of social media influencers, so that we can get together and build a solid foundation on just the level of truth, nothing else, just the plane of truth. And if anybody comes against that, for example, if somebody comes against the Second Amendment for any reason, they're your enemy because they want to make you defenseless and they want to make you a criminal for having not committed a crime. And if they see you as a criminal, then they're going to punish you. So you're actually going to be punished and threatened with what they would call gun violence for the sake of eliminating gun violence, which makes absolutely no sense, but it's from the government. So what do you expect? Okay, so here's Caitlin Bennett. Listen to what she said. Now, what the backdrop to this is Twitter from Dan Crenshaw, Representative Dan Crenshaw from Texas. And she already went over what she talked to him about. And this is kind of the result. And I like a lot of what she said. Dan made very, very few. Matter of fact, I think he only made one good point, and I'll deal with that in a separate video, but that's not in the scope of this video right here. Here's what Caitlin Bennett says at the end of reading her exchange with Dan Crenshaw. Oh, wait a second. Let me turn on the volume. All right, here we go.
Away from this conversation, extremely disappointed that a rising star in the GOP could offer me no reassurances that he would see to it that I can continue to have the right to defend myself in this country. His emotional temperament made it clear to me that his power has gone to his head. And his version of red flag gun laws won't be any different from the Democrats. If he's so mad about me tweeting a photo with a fake rhino, imagine what he might want the government to do to people he doesn't like after red flag laws pass. Who's this?
What's that? What do you want me to find it? Okay, the name of her YouTube channel is Liberty Hangout. It's the video called Dan Crenshaw Message Me. So what you need to do is copy and paste that link and then put it in the box. Okay, guys, ready? So everything she said so far is absolutely 100% true about Dan Crenshaw. Dan Crenshaw is trying to paint this picture where red flag laws are going to be different coming from the Republicans than they are from the Democrats. And the bottom line is red flag laws are anti-Second Amendment, anti-liberty.
Say he won't want the state to come and seize my firearms. Considering that he admitted to me that he supported red flag laws for years, I can't say I trust him with that power. Red flag laws are already getting law-abiding citizens killed, and Dan Crenshaw doesn't seem to care. At around the
Yeah. That's a really good point, guys. Red flag laws are getting people killed. I don't know if you remember Gary Willis. He's the first guy who died, or at least the recorded guy who died from red flag laws. I can't remember the state that he was in. If somebody does, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the box, babe. I just got it. Okay, here's the link to. I'm gonna post this a couple times, guys. I'm just gonna blitz the box. This is Caitlin Bennett's link to the video that we're watching, and just watch that video. Watch the rest of it, but I want to play the other pertinent part here. I've already taken care of it, babe. Thanks. All right, ready?
Same time that Crenshaw was elected into Congress back in November, police in Maryland shot and killed a 61-year-old man named Gary Willis after they, quote, arrived at the house at 5:17 a.m. to remove guns from the home under a new law that temporarily allows for the seizure of firearms. And in Connecticut, a 22-year-old college student was arrested and banned from his campus for sharing a meme. Crenshaw knows that red flag laws will not stop gun violence. But
by the way, just those two examples right there, that equals the war is not coming to you, it's come. It's just a matter of time before they come to your door. If they know you have guns, or if somebody just questions, maybe they don't like your position, your political position, then that can spark them to call 911. They call the police department gets a warrant, they come to your door, and these red flag laws allow them to trample your Fourth Amendment rights, to take your Second Amendment rights away, and then subject you to government psychological evaluation before they give your rights back. It's so bogus, and we have got to see this for what it is. It's all out war, period. And we can't budge 1 inch. The days of compromise is over. It's absolutely over.
will only create more of it. It will leave the very people that voted for him defenseless and let politicians decide if they are fit to own firearms. And if people are already getting red flagged over sharing memes, what will happen when Dan Crenshaw gets butthurt over any new memes people make about him? I would like to say that I'm surprised by Dan Crenshaw's messages to me, but after finding out that he met with Moms Demand Action to discuss red flag laws way back in February, I realized that he's just a power-thirsty politician trying to manipulate Republicans into turning in their guns.
Okay, that's the line I wanted you to hear. The power-hungry politicians, power-thirsty politicians. Caitlin, if you watch this video, they all are. Every one of them. They all wanted the ring of power at one point. They all hit the trail to be elected, to be in that position of power. They're all power hungry, every one of them. And one thing we know about power, guys, and this is not a cliche, this is true. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And on this side of the veil, on this side of the banker curtain, there's no greater power in this country than Congress, the House and the Senate, and the president's seat. All these people in political, they're perceived as having power. They don't truly have power, not according to natural law, but because we're so intertwined in our cognitive dissonance and we're so checked into the cult of personality, we really perceive that they are our kings, they are our princes, they are our rulers, and we rightly deserve to be punished if we transgress their laws. So what I want to convey to, and what I've been trying to tell everybody along these lines, whether it's Caitlin Bennett or Fleckus Talks, you know, I like both of these people. This is not personal, but we have to hold the line. We got to hold the line of freedom, period. And we can't compromise. And we have to recognize that all these politicians, I don't care if it's Nazi Pelosi or Dianne Feinstein or Ted Cruz or Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, who wants universal health care for all. Universal health care will improve the health of all Americans. Oh yeah, it sounds good, Bern, but what you want to do? How do you want to make that happen? Well, if I was going to be honest,
what's really going to happen is men with guns will come to your house and make sure that you implement my plan by force. You know the force that I say I'm against? You know the gun violence I say I'm against? Well, if I was going to be truthful about the whole thing, and well, I know that's an oxymoron because there is no truth in politics, but if I was going to be truthful about this whole thing, what I would tell you is I want to steal your money so I can provide you this right here. I want to take all your gun law, your gun rights in the Second Amendment. I want to rip that up in front of your faces, and I want to initiate gun violence on you.
I know I sound like a crazy man, but that's really what, if they were going to tell the truth, that's what Bernie Sanders would say. I want to plunder Americans and initiate unjust gun violence against them so that we can protect the masses from gun violence. Do you buy that, Barn? It's getting a little hot in here. Did they buy it? Are they buying it? Oh yeah, they got it. Hook, line, sinker. You're kidding. The American people really, they wait a second. They fell for universal health care? Are you serious? Well, what about red flag laws? Did they go for that? And let me check. Oh yeah, they fell for that too. You've got to be kidding. Are people really that spineless and checked out that they accept universal health care and red flag laws? Don't tell me they fell for Obamacare. Yeah, they fell for Obamacare. There was no uprising against Obamacare? How in your face can... Don't tell me they got into that stupid war after 9/11. Oh yeah, it's still going on too. They're still in Afghanistan. It's costing us a whole lot of money. Oh my God. That's how bad it is, guys. That is literally how bad it is and how insane it is. So what Caitlin Bennett says there is right. They're psychopathic political parasites and they're power hungry. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about a Dan Crenshaw. I don't care how nice he sounds. I don't care how, oh yeah, I'm for the Constitution. Well, no, you're for red flag laws. You're actually against the Constitution. Get out of my sight, you parasite. Get out of my sight, you parasite. I mean... So what I want you to do is just contact Caitlin Bennett. Let her know on this video right here. I'll put a couple more links in there so you guys don't miss it. Oh, gosh. Let her know High Impact Vlog sent you. Let's see if we can get a live stream. When you're backing Trump, you're backing red flag laws. If you back Donald Trump, you're backing red flag laws, you're backing Donald Trump, you're backing red flag laws in the TAPS Act, you're backing Dan Crenshaw, and what you're really doing is you're eating into your own liberty. You're kicking you're slapping yourself in the back of the head, you're chopping off your own arm, you're shooting your own foot. When we compromise like this and say, well, at least it's not Hillary Clinton. Can you imagine how bad it'd be without Hillary Clinton? It's like the bankers are going, oh my God, I can't believe they're still falling for that line. They're actually saying it would have been worse under Hillary Clinton, and worse, we're the ones in control. It's like if this was a puppet right here, let's see, if this was a puppet, this is the hand, this is the banker hand. Here's how easy it is, guys. Here's who's in control. Oh gosh, who are we going to vote for? I want to vote for Hillary. Okay, well, I want to vote for Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Hillary or Trump or Bush or Obama. Do you notice, is there any similarities in that? It's the same hand. It's the same banker hand that's been since at least 1913. Hampshire Rothschilds. If I can have control over a nation's money, I care not who makes its laws. It doesn't matter who makes its laws. It doesn't matter who's in the halls of Congress. We own the purse strings to the federal government. Zionist, international banking cartel is who owns this. Period. So that's why I want to get with Steven Crowder. That's why I want to get with Caitlin Bennett. That's why I want to get with Fleckus Talks, because truth fears no scrutiny. Give me your logical, truth-based argument to support anybody against freedom, against the Second Amendment, against the Fourth Amendment. What's your logical, freedom-based, individual liberty basis? Because if you don't have one, you're on your own, and you're left to your own cognitive dissonance, and you're withering away in the church of the cult of personality while you serve your God, the government. Period. That's the way it is. And the insane thing is, we push that button and we pull that lever for the chains of our own enslavement. That's why I like what Larkin Rose said. He says, politics is nothing more, nothing less than the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people, just regular people, into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Master, put the chains a little bit tighter. I trust you. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Master, create red flag laws. That way, if you suspect that one of us might someday maybe commit a crime, you can arrest us and throw us into jail and then commit civil asset forfeiture, which is theft against us. Please just keep us safe. Bringing us back to Benjamin Franklin, who said, whoever would give away a little bit, just a grain of sand of essential liberty for a little temporary promised political security deserves neither liberty nor security. If you give away your liberties, you're giving away my liberties. That's how serious this is. If I give away 1 ounce of my liberties, I'm doing you a disservice. See, this is one for all for one. We are in this together. The boat has a ton of holes in it and we got to plug it up. We can't compromise anymore. Well, I'll just create one more hole. It's probably not going to sink any faster if I just drill one more hole in it. Just drill one more hole. I mean, we can compromise on this, can't we? Stop drilling that hole. Why? Because you're violating your own individual liberties. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in your own ass. All right, so let me just deal with one more thing on that CNN reported on, and then I'll go over some super chats. Let's see, what's the date on this one right here? This is from August 22nd. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Can you see that okay? Dozens of people have been arrested over threats to commit mass attacks since El Paso and Dayton shootings. And it's got this list. Look, arrested on August 4th, August 7th to August 8th. This one right here, this August 8th one, a man accused, remember this guy? Now, let me just read this to you, and you guys tell me if you think anything's wrong here. A man is accused of walking into a Walmart in Missouri equipped with body armor, a handgun, and a rifle less than a week after a gunman killed 22 people, or allegedly, it should say, killed 22 people in Texas. Walmart says it was a social experiment and not intended to cause panic. The 20-year-old was charged with making a terrorist threat. How can you be charged with making a terrorist threat when you didn't make a terrorist threat? He walked into Walmart with body armor, not illegal, a handgun, not illegal, and a rifle, not illegal. Missouri is a constitutional carry state. He did absolutely nothing. He didn't do anything illegal, even according to their state laws. And they still threw his ass in jail. So the red flag law worked against somebody who is exercising his own right. Who cares if somebody gets freaked out because you exercise your right? That's no reason to criminalize somebody. You didn't commit a crime just because somebody has an irrational fear about guns. What law enforcement should do, if they were legitimate at all, was educate those scared people and say, hey, listen, you can carry a gun too. This is a constitutional carry state. What are you getting all freaked out about? But what they do is they placate to the public. The public gets all freaked out and goes, you got to do something. The guy, for God's sake, he walked in here with body armor and a handgun and a rifle. And oh my gosh, people were just going crazy and just leaving. People were escaping the place because I'm not going to say it, pulled the fire alarm and everybody started running. The guy wasn't doing anything but doing a live stream or something. I haven't seen the live stream, but he was doing some social media related thing. He wasn't waving a gun around and being reckless and irresponsible. He wasn't threatening people. But guess what? 20-year-old was charged with making a terrorist threat. Now he's on a freaking terrorist watch list because people have irrational fears because of fake stream media and today's political climate. Thank you very much. Thanks. Appreciate that. And that guy represents us. That could happen to us. I carry all the time. How will I know? How am I assured that next time I walk into the grocery store, people aren't going to be freaked out and call 911 on me? And pretty soon I'm in there getting, vegetables and getting eggs. And before I know it, a whole team of SWAT. Put the weapon down, get on the ground, obey my order. And it's like, what the heck are you guys doing? Don't even have time to pull out your phone. Keep your hands up in the air. Keep your hands up in the air. You're a criminal. You've terrorized people when it's just an irrational fear. They don't even ask questions. Okay, so we're in an open carry state, right? At least the operator could do that. Is he waving the gun around? And then you'd have to have, where's the video evidence that this guy did anything irresponsible or worthy of being charged with as a terrorist? Nowhere. It's nowhere. There's cameras all over Walmarts, by the way. Surely there's a shred of evidence somewhere that he did something reckless. I think this guy's got a really good case of suing. The only problem with that is when you sue the state, it comes out of the pockets of the people. It doesn't come out of the pockets of the politicians or the police officers. They're the ones that initiated the force. They're the ones that initiated unjust force on a peaceful person who didn't do anything wrong. It should come out of their pockets. They should be required to have liability or malpractice insurance like a doctor. They should be required to have that. And then if it's proven that they violated their oath, then they should be charged for it. They should be penalized. They should lose their jobs. They should be thrown into a cage because they're the ones that committed the crime, not the guy that they threw in jail. So let me do some super chats, guys. I want to catch up here. I really appreciate you sticking with me, guys. I know this was kind of I don't know. Sometimes I read these articles and I see things and I just it wells up in me. I just got to share this with you guys. Hope that's okay. All right. R. Garcia, thanks for the super chat. He says, personal freedoms and individual liberties invest in precious metals, brass, and lead. Yeah, I like that. Thanks, R. Garcia, for the super chat. Yeah, there's gold and there's silver and there's the other precious metal, lead, because lead will protect you and your food supply and your water supply and your family and your gold and your silver. I like that. Thanks, man. Yeah, guys, lead is an investment because sooner or later they're going to do all these. I don't know how it is with you guys, but in my local Walmart, you have to be 21 to buy freaking BBs for a Daisy BB gun. My kids can't buy ammo, BBs, just BBs. They can't buy BBs until they're 21, but they'll send our sons and daughters off to foreign wars and throw an M16 or an M50 in their hands and expect them to kill a whole bunch of people that don't speak their language at 18. Yeah, real good. Thanks, government. Government's, I'm gonna tell you what, boy. You look into my eye, boy. You better take what I'm about to say seriously. Government can only make things better. All right. Now you need to believe that. I don't have any evidence for it. Matter of fact, there's a lot of evidence that some would say is contrary to that. But you mark my words, boy. Government's like butter. It just makes everything better. All right? Just believe. Submit to your 15,000 hour government indoctrination program. Do what you're told. Be a good little boy, good little girl, because government's going to make things better. Yeah, I know the national debt's high, but don't worry. Government will make everything better. And then the more I talk on stuff, the more stupid I become. Okay? It's just ridiculous. Just believe me, okay? Government will make it. I mean, this is really how it should. Government will make everything better, okay? Yeah, sure. We wasted buttloads of money. Sure. We've killed tons of people in foreign wars. And what's it gotten us? Just more dead people and more debt. And don't worry. We're the government. I'm your Uncle Sam. Okay, it's Uncle Sammy talking to you, okay? Uncle Sammy's never steered you wrong, has he? He's never steered you wrong. I'm as stable as they come. I am government. I mean, if you can't trust me, you really can't trust anybody. I mean, okay, so at this point in my monologue, just hand me your weapon. Just put your weapon in my hand right here, because I'll make sure you're safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. All right, I'm done. What could possibly go wrong? Trust government. Because they're out for your best interest. They're just looking out for you. God. Sometimes I feel like I'm crazy. So I have to act like I'm crazy. All right. Perfect. Oh, this is from Rob Gallus. Thanks for the super chat, R. Garcia. This is super chat from Rob Gallus. Rob Gallo says, perfect example of politician's thought pattern was Bernie on Joe Rogan's podcast. Dang, I meant to watch that. Shoot, I haven't seen this. Joe says, how do we get TV media to broadcast political candidates for free? And Bernie says, well, we just make them. Did he really say that, Rob Gallus? Joe says, how do we get TV media to broadcast political candidates for free? Well, we just make a law, says Bernie. I got to see that guy. I've been meaning to see, because Joe Rogan is, I guess he's just seen by YouTube as an authoritative source, because I always see him on the right side of the screen. I don't know if you see that, but I saw this thing with Bernie and I meant to click on it and watch it. I may do it. Hey, do you guys want to do this? Let me ask you. Let's just get a little personal. Let me see. Would you guys be interested in me doing a live stream? And we got to be careful how we do this, because Joe Rogan is real quick to give copyright, just issue copyright strikes. Would you be interested in going over maybe the whole show of Bernie with Joe Rogan together, just on a live stream? Would you guys want to do that? Thumbs up if you want to do it. I'd have to get a lot of thumbs up for that. If I can get, let's say, 50 thumbs up for that, we'll do this together one day, maybe sometime next week. We'll go over the Joe Rogan, Bernie Sanders podcast, and I can guarantee you with Bernie Sanders on there, with Bernie, you can't go wrong in the human department when we're talking about Bernie. So if I get 50 thumbs up, we're doing it, man. Oh, and multiple thumbs up from one person doesn't count. Okay, there's a lot of thumbs up. Okay, that guys, it would be a blast to hang out with you guys and just tear up Bernie on the Joe Rogan podcast. That would be very, very interesting. And we'll just do it first blush too. I won't even go over it firsthand. I won't do any kind of research for it or anything like that. We'll just all watch it together. If you guys haven't seen it yet, don't watch it until we watch it together. That's going to make it all spontaneous. Okay, it looks like there's like 50. Okay, all right, cool. All right, we're going to do it. Joe Rogan, AKA Thumb Face. Oh my gosh, the ad hominems. I can't do it. I just can't do it. Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. So thanks, Rob Gallus, for the super chat. That was a good super chat. That was a good comment on the super chat. This is from Snapzilla Gorilla. Snapzilla Gorilla's in the house. Everybody looking up. Listen up. Hey, Brian, we freedom lovers do need to stand together. Yep. Amen. Sadly, I had a conversation with family yesterday and some are firm statists. It says their argument ... I don't know if you meant to put something else on there. I mean, it's pretty much the same argument that you always hear. It's like, without government, how could we have roads, schools, bridges, clean running water? How could you ever feel safe in your community without government? I mean, what would we do? What could we possibly do? Do you guys realize they said that in the 1800s under slavery? They're like, without the slaves, who's going to pick the cotton? I mean, that was a legitimate concern. How are we going to get cotton to the market without the freaking slaves? Oh, well, we found a way. Somebody developed the cotton gin, made things a whole lot easier. Guys, I'm telling you, government holds us back. Who says we would need roads? Who says we would need the combustion engine? We've been using the combustion engine for how long? Since 1869? I don't know. The late 1800s. Who was it? Benz? I don't even know who came up with the first one, but we've had the combustion engine for this long. We've had this thing called the tire for thousands of years. Who says we would need roads? Maybe we'd all be going to work on our hovercrafts or not even having to go to work at all. The reason people have 2 or 3 jobs right now is because we have such transgenerational debt slavery, and they take such a high percentage of us from us now that we have to do that to make ends meet. Government makes everything worse. I know it looks like it makes everything better, but honestly, it makes everything worse. All you have to do is look at history, look at our balance sheet. How the hell do you get $22 trillion worth of I'm drinking too much transgeneration debt slavery. Honestly, guys, this is not moonshine. It is water. How do you get $22 trillion worth of transgenerational debt slavery, and that is not counting unfunded liabilities like Social Security and Medicare, which shoots that number way past $120 trillion. You can't do it without a centralized authority. You can't do it without a centralized Zionist international banking cartel Ponzi scheme based on the petro and the narco dollar. You can't, it's not possible. Not possible at all. So, okay, so that was Snapzilla Gorilla. Thanks for the super chat. Yo Joe 85881406. Red flag laws affect our first. I think you meant First and Second Amendment rights. My dog's crying to be let in, so hold on a second. I gotta let my dog in. Watch this. Here's what happens. He's being eaten by coyotes. No, not really. Watch this. Come on, boy. Come on. Are you scared? Are you being eaten up by the gorillas? Is the government getting you? That's the code of my Chihuahua. Okay, a little personal stuff there. That's my little dog. He's a sweetie. He's a sweetie. I had a Malinois. Oh my gosh, I love that dog. Her name was Riata, but I think I told you guys this before. If you have a Malinois, you got to spend a lot of time with them. They're super smart dogs, but when I would go to work, I'd be kind of stressed out because I had to leave her in this little crate, and they're all high strung. You know, she literally tore that metal crate up, and I had a 45-pound weight on the bottom of it, one of my weightlifting weights, and she somehow managed to bend the metal and flip that thing, got out, and every time she would get out, she would try to run and find me no matter where I was. She would just try to look for my truck. So she was always loose in the neighborhood. She ate the fence in the backyard. I like big dogs, you know. And I like all animals. Anyway, a little personal stuff there, but Malinois and German Shepherds, great dogs. Great. I had two Great Pyrenees that were just such great dogs. All right. So I think what you're saying there is red flag laws affect our First Amendment rights too. Yeah, First A rights too. That's what you're saying. Sorry, I slaughter some of these. So thanks, Yojo. I appreciate the super chat. MGC Truth. By the way, MGC Truth just reminded me of something. Thanks for that super chat. He says people need to homeschool their kids. That is another thing. Don't underestimate the power of government public school indoctrination, guys. I'm not condemning you for. I never homeschooled my kids, but I'm not virtue. I never public schooled my kids. I always homeschooled my kids, and I'm not virtue signaling there. It's just if you well, gosh, how do I say this? I'm like, this is a near and dear thing to me, because the reason I homeschooled my kids is because I don't want somebody else pumping God knows what into my kids through the public school indoctrination system. I know what it's all about because I've been there. I went through 12 years of that, 4 years of college, and I know what they teach. I know what the MO is. Their modus operandi is to basically do what military does to their military men, is deconstruct them and build them up in their own image. I do not condemn you if you're in a situation where you have your kids in public schools, because sometimes when you're linked into the system, all those tentacles surround, and then when you pull them out, it's like, oh, you're truant, now you're in trouble. So you got to be real careful how you handle things. But man, the garbage they put out there, especially for little kids these days. What is it? Drag queen story hour? What the hell? I got to be really careful what I say about that on this platform, but you guys, we're like kindred spirits, guys. You guys and me, you know what I'm thinking about that. I don't even have to say it, but you get a 250-pound dude acting like a female and dressed like, I just got to be careful what I say, man. You know what I'm thinking. And that's just part of it. That's not even the curriculum. And then you got Common Core, and this is how you do math now. And it's like, what happened to 2 + 2 = 4? The world is falling apart, man. So anyway, when the inmates are let out of the Washington District of Criminal Asylum, anything goes. All bets are off. Anything flies. Come one, come all your evil, come into my house. You are welcome anytime. That's how government treats it. And then anyway, so I would strongly urge you, if you have school-age children, look into home education. You are the best teacher your child could possibly ever have, ever. Hands down, you are. And if you're not that person who is, then change your character. Life's a choice. You can choose. You can choose the kind of person you're going to be. Are you going to be just real quick to, just a hot flaring up temper? Control it. Just control your temper. Are you impulsive and you just eat everything and you can't control what you eat? Just sit back, relax, Just think about what you're doing. Nobody's stuffing that stuff in your mouth. Just control it. You can do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. You don't need a psychologist. You don't need a psychiatrist. You don't need to go to a doctor. You don't need to be put on Ritalin. You don't need any of this crap. All you need to do is just sit down, just unplug from everything. Get into a quiet space and just realize, okay, just start from the basics. All right, I've messed my life up. Let's just say you're one of those people out there. You messed your life up. You drink. You can't stop drinking. You can't stop smoking. You can't stop eating. You've blown up like a balloon. You're not in the shape you want to be. Just sit there and just reflect. Don't let it come from anybody else. Let it well up inside of you, because that's the only way it's going to stick. Don't do it because somebody shamed you. We all make mistakes, but we all have a choice. It's your choice. You make the choice. You make the choice to put that extra helping into your mouth. You make the choice to pop that extra beer and throw it down. You make the choice whether you're going to get addicted to drugs or not. You make the choice. And I don't care where you are in life. You can pull yourself out of this stuff. Nobody else is going to help you. I'll tell you that. There may be people who can lend some encouragement, and yeah, that's good. I listen to motivational stuff all the time and glean a lot of stuff on it, but they're not going to lift you up. They're not going to do it. You're going to be the one to do it. Period. And it's not too late. It's not too late. And that's hope, but it's hope based on something, something personal that I've personally gone through. People go through stuff. Your journey is different than mine. Maybe your road is way harder than mine. Maybe my road is harder than yours. It doesn't matter. We're all on a freaking journey together. And if you can be a better person tomorrow, and I did not mean to say any of this stuff right here, guys. If you think it's off base, just give me a thumbs down and I'll just move on to something else. But I don't want to waste your time. But I do want to help you, because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. You make a choice on whether you're going to have a pleasant attitude. Because let's face it, if you think about it, just think about this. Just put yourself in this mindset. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. Think about all the things you've gone through in your life. And yet here you are. You made it. Somehow you made it through there. And then what people will remember is not so much that you made it through. They'll remember how you made it through. Oh, yeah, he made it through it, but he had a piss poor attitude and he was just dragging us all down along the way. Don't be that person. It's not productive. It doesn't help you out. It doesn't help anybody out. It just puts a shroud of darkness over everybody. Just determine in your mind. I saw this one real cool motivational thing. Matter of fact, my son shared it with me. This thing came from this ex-Army colonel. He said, if you can just accomplish one goal when you get up in the morning. And I don't care who it comes from. If Hitler said something, you know what? I shouldn't have said his name, because that's going to trip an algo. If some evil person said something that was true, I want to glean that truth. I'm all about just gleaning that truth. Hey, what truth can I get from that? Yeah, I know that guy's. If Rachel Maddow said something that was true, or like we talked about earlier, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. If it's true, it's true. And I want to glean that. And truth can do nothing but build you up if you accept it. It'll tear you down if you don't. If you don't accept truth, it's going to crush you, man. But if you fall on it and let it break you to pieces and reassemble you, you're going to be a better person for it. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're in a bad place right now, you can get out. You can. I'm not just trying to be a motivational speaker or anything like that. But like I said, we're all on a journey together, separately and together. And you can actually... if you can unplug from mainstream media, just don't watch movies, don't read something, just think about your life. How is your life now? How do you want your life to be? And then what do you have to do to go get it? And then just go get it. Is it going to be hard to not eat that extra helping of cake? Maybe for a while. Is it going to be hard to not smoke that cigarette because nicotine? And you got to be careful with cigarettes too, because you got to, with the way nicotine is, have you ever seen somebody on nicotine withdrawals? It's like it's almost like it is a drug. It's drug withdrawals. It's horrible. It causes major pain. So we need to start today. Let today be the new day. Anyway, what that colonel said was, if you could just accomplish one goal, get up in the morning, make your bed, make it perfect, put all the corners edged. Oh, now I've accomplished one goal, and it sounds ridiculous, but okay, I've accomplished that goal. Now I'll straighten up this. Maybe there's clutter in your life. Have you ever noticed how good you feel when you enter a room and it's clean, and how kind of bad you feel when a room is cluttered? But when you straighten everything up, it's like, Well, I just kind of have, I don't know what it is. I feel like I have a fresh new outlook on life or something. I don't know. Can't explain it, but as psychologically, I just feel a whole lot better. It's those little things, just little bitty goals, little goals, little goals. And at the end of the day, you got this long string of goals, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? Well, it's because you made a choice. You made a choice to accomplish some goals. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And then you look back and you go, wow, there's an empty plate where there used to be an elephant. Now, I don't advocate eating elephants, but there's a metaphor. There's a metaphorical teaching tool there. All right. So Yojo says red flag laws affect our First Amendment rights too. Yes. And then MGC, the truth, says people need to homeschool their kids. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the ideal scenario. And another thing, MGC Truth, if you guys want to chat after this, if you're interested in chatting, give me a thumbs up. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the Discord link to my voice chat, which is called Shooting the Breeze. And if you guys want to shoot the breeze for like 5 or 10 minutes after this live stream's over, I'm going to put that Discord link in the description right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to blitz the Discord link. I mean, the chat link, the YouTube chat link with this Discord deal. If you guys are interested in voice chatting, it'd be cool to get 20 or so of us in there. The only rule I have in Discord is this. Let me just put this link in there. I'm blitzing just so you can see it. Sorry. All right, so there's the Discord link. The only rule I have in Discord is if you're not talking, mute your mic, because it gets really, really hard when, maybe somebody's got a blender or the dryer's going in the background and you hear all this noise, and it's just mayhem. So after this live stream right here, I'm going to go into the Discord and we can talk for about 5 minutes, but I'm going to wrap this up with the super chats. Let's see. Who did I miss here? Okay, I got MGC Truth. Thanks for the super chat. I fix them. Caitlin Bennett is doing a good job. Calling out Crenshaw was a bold move. I agree. Shall not be infringed was carefully written for a reason. Yeah, and I actually DM'd Caitlin Bennett and I said, hey, hats off to you for going after Dan Crenshaw. That is something that absolutely needed to be said for our freedom's sake. Would you be interested in a live stream and coming on and let's talk about statism? So there's some things I disagree with her, but I'm not going to talk about that here. I've already covered that in a video. And guys, don't get in a cult of personality for Caitlin Bennett or me or Dan Crenshaw or Donald Trump or anything, because when you get in the cult of personality, seriously, your conscience literally becomes seared. It's a very dangerous thing to enter that cult, and it's easy to do. Davey Crocco, what's up, man? Hey, you guys, check out Davey Crocco's channel. He touches on some pretty touchy subjects, and I appreciate you sharing that stuff, Davey. Davey says share and support. Thanks, Brian. Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for the super chat. So I think I saw another one come through, and then we'll wrap this up unless somebody else has something you want to talk about. Okay, a couple more super chats came in. Aaron C says, you just wasted a bunch of time talking about live streaming with people who already known to be controlled opposition. It's obvious you're not serious. You just wasted a bunch of time talking about live streaming with people who are already known to be... But it doesn't matter to me, because see, the bottom line to that is, if they're, let's say they're cemented, and I'm talking to you, Aaron C, and anybody of Aaron C, and whoever would be in this, mindset, is it doesn't matter to me who I talk to. It doesn't matter to me how cemented in their position they are. I still believe that when we're still on this side of the grave, there's still hope for people, number one. And if there isn't hope and I don't know about it, it's for people who might listen. And that's why I like this platform, is because I would want to do it on a live stream so that I can share it with people who are in Caitlin's camp or whoever's camp, who's more status minded. And then all I'm doing is throwing out those seeds, man, because truth fears no scrutiny. Don't you just freaking love the truth? And so it's never, ever of Aaron C, a waste of time talking to people who don't see things your way. What if I'm wrong? I want to talk to them because I want to be sharpened. It's like, have you ever seen a video of a sword that's being sharpened against a flint stone? You can't see it with the naked eye, but when you see it under the microscope, little pieces of that metal are coming off, and that blade is getting sharper and sharper and sharper. And that's what we need in our life. That's a metaphor for our lives. I get sharpened by people that I don't agree with all the time. I'm like, whoa, that is a really good point that I had not considered. That's why I always say none of us is greater than all of us. So I respectfully disagree with you, FC and Air. It's not a waste of time talking about live streaming with people who are already known to be controlled opposition. It doesn't matter to me if they're controlled opposition. You know why? Because truth fears no scrutiny. I appreciate the super chat, though. I humbly disagree with you. Corey Culberson says, how do these political parasites even sleep at night? Probably the same reason a real parasite, like a tick or a mosquito, sleeps at night. It's like they're just kind of doing their job. That's what they're here to do, to suck off of others. And for them, it's not about integrity. I love this. I think it was Confucius who said, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own is a clear conscience. If you can go to bed at the end of the day knowing that you didn't do harm to anybody, you treated others the way you'd want to be treated, and you didn't treat others the way you wouldn't want to be treated, and you can go to bed at night in that state, you've succeeded in life. You have succeeded that day. Well done. You won the battle that day. And then you got to get up and do it all over again, because assenting to and proclaiming the truth isn't a one-time deal. It's a life of constancy. You're always doing it, and it's always an uphill battle. It's kind of like, I liken life to being in a canoe, and you're always going upstream, and you got your oar always in the water, but the temptation always to rest and let that oar sit on the side of the boat and just take a rest. Well, as soon as you take the oar out of the water, guess what happens to your boat? Since you're going against the current, and most people don't go against the current, you immediately start going backwards. There's no stationary point. As soon as you take that oar out, it's like, you start going backwards. And that's how I view truth, and the battle for truth is you can never take your oar out of the water. Once it's in, once you've seen the light, you can't go back. Once you've tasted what reality is, you just can't go back. That's why I can never vote again. I looked, and I was fortunate enough to be a delegate for Ron Paul in 2012, and I saw what happened behind the scenes with the delegation party, not only at our state level, but also in the national level. And I saw how they railroaded Ron Paul, and they would not let him get in there, and it was all about Romney. Literally, guys, Romney lost Oklahoma, and I was there to see it. And I videoed it, and I got it on some external hard drive somewhere, or it's just in oblivion. I can't find it anymore. But Ron Paul's crowd was wrapped around the freaking building in Norman, Oklahoma. And if you were there that day, you know exactly what I was talking about. When we started talking about liberty and freedom and Ron Paul becoming president, the GOP, Mary Fallon was there. She was the governor at the time in the state of Oklahoma at that time. They cut our mics, they turned off the light, and they closed that huge electronic, that metal, that curtain that separated us, and we had to conduct the rest of our convention. I think they call it a rump convention, out in the parking lot. They called us the parking lot patriots because we were ousted from our own convention. We were delegates, and we got ousted. And I thought right from then on, politics is nothing but a scam, and politicians are nothing but scammers. They're power hungry scammers, and all they want to do is make laws to transfer power and increase the coffers of the state. That's it. That's all it is. Just like George Carlin said, it's just a big club, and guess what? You ain't in it. And you're not welcome, because they want to put their thumb on you. They want to put their boot on your neck, and it doesn't matter if it's the left boot or the right boot. They want to control you, because that's what government is. It's all about control. If you want to be a governor, you want to be a controller, because that's what govern means, period. So we have to get down to the brass tacks reality of what laws mean, of what words mean, of what, because a law is nothing more, nothing less than the opinion of a politician backed by the threat of force, and the law enforcers carry out those laws. That's all it is. A man-made law is no law at all. It's not really a law. It's just a written down opinion that people decide to obey. So that's okay. So Corey Culbertson said that. Thanks for the super chat. And one last super chat, I think. I'll refresh, but I'll see. One last super chat before we go. An hour and 28 minutes. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. 616 in here. I appreciate it. Pale Rider Bear says, who will build the roads? Just think of the insane futuristic technology we could develop with $180 trillion. $180 trillion the government is flushed down the toilet. Automated road building machines or zero gravity. Yeah. Guys, there is no telling where we would be as a society if you just eliminated this idea that somebody has a higher claim over your life and property than you, and us being just in total bondage. We're literal slaves to the system. Imagine how much further we would have progressed without government holding us back and sucking our wealth and sucking our energies. Because they are taking your energies. When they take your wealth, they're taking the product of your time and laboring energy. I don't have my wallet here, but if you hold up a dollar bill, a dollar bill literally represents a container for the product of your time and laboring energies. And they don't even need to come to your house to steal money. They just put zeros and ones in bank accounts, or they create an inflation scenario, and inflation is the hidden tax. So they extract your time and laboring energies. It's not just this bill. It's not just silver. It's what this silver represents. This represents work. It took work. It took planning. We got to find out where the mine is. We got to hire a team of experts. We got to get the explosives. We got to bring this thing to market. And then we got to melt all the dross off. It takes to get a 1 ounce silver coin. It represents a lot of time and planning and laboring energies, and they are sucking it away from us. Can you imagine how much we would have progressed as a civilization without that concept of government just constantly holding us back? It'd be like you're on a drag strip and you deploy your parachute before you even get going. The government is that parachute just holding you back, and if you just cut the strings, boom, you would just go like crazy. But people don't see it. They're so afraid of what's going to happen if we get rid of government. How could we ever? Oh my gosh. You know the question we should be asking? Who's going to plunder us if we don't have government? Who's going to threaten to throw my ass into jail every April when I'm supposed to be filling out my tax returns? Well, we can't have that. We can't eliminate people who threaten to harm us and take our families away from us. That's just insane. It's insane thinking. Okay, Oh, I'm so glad somebody brought this up. This is from Little Red Riding Pill. Thanks for the super chat, Little Red Riding Pill. Rex Paris is a crackhead, LOL. I don't know about his drug use, but I used to live in Lancaster, California from 2001 to 2007, and you're referring to the news report about that deputy, Angel Renza, or whatever his name was, who said that he was shot by a sniper, and it turns out that the thing was completely fabricated, guys. If you missed my video on this, I'll drop a link. I need to make some mods here. I'll drop a link in the description. I'll tell you what, I'll do that later. But this guy, this sheriff's deputy lied and said he got hit by a sniper. All the news, the local news covered it, and then became a viral news report. And you could see that they were just licking their chops like, oh yeah, oh man, they're using long rifles to shoot at police officers. We got to take the long rifles off the streets. They were just rubbing their hands together. And then it comes out a couple days later, he completely fabricated everything. Well, it's not just Angel, whatever his name was, this deputy who was fabricating everything. R. Rex Paris, who is now the mayor, at that time when I was living in Lancaster, if I remember right, R. Rex Paris had a law firm and was into real estate and stuff. He wasn't the mayor back then, but now he's the mayor. So I know there's corruption in the Lancaster, higher echelons or whatever you want to call it. But R. Rex Paris lied because he said that he was in the hospital 20 minutes after that event and saw this deputy who had been shot in the shoulder, and he had gotten checked out. So does that mean that the news, the local news station made everything up, or did R. Rex Paris is saying that he actually saw this guy was in great pain, and that the police authorities said that he got hurt, and the hospital authorities said he was checked out and released from the hospital, and then it comes out later that he was lying? It almost sounds like, and I speculate on this, I'm not making any assertions, but this is my speculation. It almost seems like maybe a doctor didn't want to play along with this whole, I'm going to say FF, I don't want to say false, and then that thing that waves in the wind, false. Isn't that sad that in this day of censorship, you got to do that? Anyway, this false, whatever it is, it almost seems like a doctor or a nurse came forward and said, I'm not playing. This dude is not hurt. This guy did not get shot. Turns out this deputy put a hole in his shirt with a knife And it was all completely fabricated to the point where they called out SWAT. Cop cars, cruisers were in the street. SWAT, they had all their assault weapons out. It gave them an opportunity. Somebody made a comment under that video that I thought was, it's also something that we could speculate on and have kind of a logical basis for it. It's almost like the sheriff's department wanted to raid the high rise across the street where the sniper supposedly shot this deputy. They searched, they said on the news, they searched every room. That means everybody's Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, the right to be secure in the person's houses, papers, and effects, and their Second Amendment rights were removed because one of the guys was some stage actor who had these mock guns, and they even took those. So any weaponry they found, they took. And then RX Paris gets up there and he goes, it's literally insanity to have insane people across from the police department. And I'm like, maybe the people that are insane are the people in the police department and not so much in the high rise across the street. So what happened was, based on a lie, you've got this massive violation of a whole bunch of people's rights. The Fourth Amendment right might as well be martial law. It's just thrown out the window because of one lie from one deputy who said he was shot by a sniper from across the street. Total fabrication, everything. CNN covered it, ABC covered it, NBC covered it, Fox News covered it, and millions of people were believing this for a period of time. They were believing a lie. And that's the kind of, and how do we know that they aren't telling these lies all the time? Because it looks like they are. I've done a ton of videos on it. They're always being caught in a lie. The authorities, police officials, the officials say, the authorities say, oh, automatically it makes it the truth because the authorities said it. It's verified by the authorities. Well, what if the authorities are lying? What if they're feeding the news crews a whole bunch of crap? What if the news crews are making things up? You don't even know. That's just another reason why you should never put your hope and trust in mainstream media. It's literally fake stream media, guys. So anyway, yeah, you said RX Paris is a crackhead. I don't know. I don't know about his drug use, but I do know that it sure did come across as a lie in that video that he did for that news station. Frank Zeke, so thanks for the super chat, Little Red Riding Pill. And Frank Zeke says, where are we going? Will we win? Are we winning? You know what winning is to me? Just being a person of integrity. It's like you win. Even if you die, it's like give me liberty or give me death. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. Living on your knees it's not living. You're not living if you're living on your knees. That's why I started this channel. I was so pissed off about what happened with the Ron Paul campaign in 2012. I was like, I can't believe this. The thing that I really couldn't believe was that I actually believed in the political system, that I was actually making some kind of difference. You're not making a difference it doesn't matter who you vote for. Even if Ron Paul got in there, he's not in control. He's not the leader of the free world. Yeah, he can make some policies or whatever, but until we deal with the international Zionist banking cartel issue, until we deal with the IRS, until we take the military industrial complex down, we haven't dealt with anything. We haven't dealt with one thing. Not at all. So I'll just refresh this one more time. If there's another super chat, I'll deal with it. If not, we'll go to Discord for about 5 minutes. And if you guys want to voice chat, I will be over there. Pale Rider Bear says, not to mention the amazing technology that government has surely kept hidden and suppressed from the people. And there's no telling what kind of technology they have right now by using our plundered wealth to bring those things into existence. You know that they probably have, this is speculation too, they probably have, I keep looking around for my cell phone. I am using my cell phone. We have these cell phones. They probably have technology that's 50 or 60 years advanced from that. They had stuff back in the 1940s. If you've ever seen, there's a 1940s newsreel where this plane is flying over this, I think is it a battleship? I think it's a destroyer. He's flying over a destroyer and they put down this thing called a chem curtain, and it's literally trailing the plane, and a curtain is falling down, and it's just this wall that's supposed to obscure one battleship from another for, strategic wartime advantage and all that kind of stuff. They have technology we have no clue about. No clue. There's no telling. Maybe they have a way to spy on us that we don't even know. Okay, so another one came in, guys. I'm really trying to wrap this up. Appreciate you hanging out with me. iFix'em says, I get robbed for $300 per week and I have no idea what that pays for. Yeah, think about 20% of your wealth being taken from you. That means 1/5 of your work week, 20% of everything you work for, you're working for somebody else. Somebody else who's going to take your money against your will and without your consent. That's theft. In the real world, that's theft. If a man walked up to you and said, "Hey, no gun or anything," he just goes, I'll tell you what. He just walks up to you and steals your wallet, and you have $100, and he takes 20 out and he gives it back to you. So you took 20% of what you got in your wallet, and you're like, "Hey, why'd you do that? I didn't consent to that. You just committed theft." And he did. He truly committed theft. How is that different from somebody who calls himself a government agent taking money from you? Only they do it through extortion. And what's extortion? Extortion is theft by force. It's like, give me your money or else. That is extortion. Extortion is the element of threats mixed in with that theft. So the IRS says, yeah, give us 33% of your wealth, or we're going to consider you a tax evader. And in our book, that's a crime. You've committed a crime. Now you're going to have to pay a fine. Oh, what's that? You don't want to pay a fine? Well, we're going to take you to jail. Oh, what's that? You don't want to go to jail? Well, then men with guns, they're going to initiate gun violence on you. Don't tell me the government, anybody in government is against gun violence. Nobody in government is against gun violence. Because if you shut off the valve of them stealing your wealth, then they can't get paid their $174,000 a year, these base congressmen, and they can't have that. Every law is backed by the threat of force. Literally, it's backed by the threat of what they would call gun violence. There's no such thing as gun violence. All right, 5 or 10 minutes. I'll hang out for 5 or 10 minutes. If you want to, hey, Kay just sent something. What are your thoughts on gematria? It's funny that you said that, because I talked to somebody about gematria yesterday. I think it was, it may have been MGC, The Truth. I don't know. I don't know. I'm ignorant on it. I don't know. I don't know. Look, there's some things that look compelling to me, but then there's some things that look like, well, anybody could fix those numbers to pretty much say anything that they want to say. And then there's kind of no standard for truth. And I understand there's all these gematria calculators out there. So that's way out of my league. So I'd have to study it to speak with any. I can't even articulate on it. I don't even know. I don't know. I have all of maybe 3 minutes invested in understanding gematria. So anyway, I'm heading over to Discord right now, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Whatever you do, just make it a great day for yourself, because great days don't just happen on their own. Make it a great day for yourself and everybody in your zone of influence, because that's really what life's all about, right? I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. Thanks for all the super chats and thanks for all the support.